What if I told you your thoughts aren't just ideas, they're waves that ripple through the quantum field, shaping the reality you experience right now? Because according to quantum physics, that might not be far from the truth. Think about this for a second. You wake up, scroll through your phone, stress about your goals, and wonder why things never change. But what if it's not reality that's the problem? What if it's the way you're observing it? You see, there's a strange law in the universe, one that turns everything we think we know about reality upside down. It's called the observer effect, a principle born from the legendary double-slit experiment. In 1801, scientists fired tiny particles of light, photons, through two narrow slits to see how they behaved. When no one watched, the photons acted like waves, spreading out and creating interference patterns, as if they existed everywhere at once. But when scientists tried to observe them, the photons suddenly acted like particles, choosing a single path. In other words, the very act of observing changed the outcome. This wasn't superstition. It was quantum physics, real, measurable, and completely mind-bending. It meant that consciousness, the act of awareness itself, might play a role in shaping what we call reality. Now, here's where it gets even crazier. Spiritual traditions for thousands of years, from Buddhism to ancient African mysticism, have said something similar. That your outer world reflects your inner state. That energy follows attention. Quantum science, it seems, is now catching up. Dr. John Wheeler, one of Einstein's students, once said, "We are not just observers. We are participants in the universe." Meaning, the universe might not be a fixed movie we're watching. It's a movie we're co-directing. Let's translate that into something practical. When you visualize your dream life, wealth, peace, health, love, what's actually happening? Neuroscience shows that your brain doesn't know the difference between imagination and experience. When you see something vividly in your mind, your neurons fire as if it's already real. That changes your energy signature, your vibration, which then interacts with the quantum field around you. Dr. Joe Dispenza calls this rehearsing your future. He says, when you emotionally feel the future before it happens, you're signaling new genes in new ways. In other words, your body starts living that new reality before it even arrives. But can thoughts really influence the physical world? Let's go deeper. Quantum physics says everything, matter, atoms, even your body, is made up of energy. And energy responds to frequency. When you hold a thought with strong emotion, like gratitude, love, or purpose, it emits a measurable electromagnetic field. The Heart Math Institute actually proved this. Your heart's energy field extends several feet beyond your body, syncing with your brain's waves. So when you feel aligned, the universe around you starts aligning too. You don't chase manifestation, you tune into it. Here's the paradox. We've been taught that we're separate. You're here, the universe is out there. But quantum entanglement says otherwise. Two particles that were once connected can remain linked, no matter how far apart they are, even across galaxies. When one changes, the other responds instantly. Einstein called it spooky action at a distance. Now imagine this. If matter is connected at that level, could your thoughts, made of energy, ripple through that same invisible web? Maybe manifestation isn't magic. Maybe it's mechanics, quantum mechanics. Physicist Max Planck, the father of quantum theory, once said, "I regard consciousness as fundamental. Matter is derived from consciousness. That means reality doesn't just exist out there, it begins in here. So when you think, I'm not enough or I'll never make it, you're programming your quantum field with limitation. But when you think, I'm already becoming it, you collapse new possibilities into form. Your thoughts are requests. Your emotions are the signal strength. And your attention? That's the lens shaping the universe's response. Imagine your future self, already living the life you want. Now imagine that version of you isn't far away. It's just vibrating at a higher frequency, and your job is to tune into it. Just like a radio station. You don't create the music, you just align your dial until you receive it. Every emotion, every belief, every action is a shift in frequency. So when you hold gratitude before success, love before connection, peace before results, you send out a quantum signal that says, I already am, and the field reflects it back. That's not wishful thinking. That's resonance. Now, skeptics say, where's the proof? Fair question. Studies in quantum biology show that even processes in our cells, like photosynthesis, rely on quantum coherence, meaning life itself uses quantum principles. Neuroscientists are exploring how quantum effects could influence consciousness. And experiments like the Princeton Global Consciousness Project found that human intention can subtly affect random systems, as if the world itself responds to mass emotion. Coincidence? Maybe. But the data keeps growing. So here's the truth. Manifestation isn't just thinking positive. It's learning to observe reality differently. Because when you do, the particles, your life, rearrange themselves around your focus. The universe isn't waiting to give you what you want. It's waiting for you to vibrate as if you already have it. You are the observer. You are the wave. You are the energy shaping the quantum field. But here's the real secret. It's not enough to just think or visualize. There's a deeper layer to this, one that ancient mystics knew and quantum scientists are only beginning to understand. In the next part, we'll explore how to activate your quantum mind and use it to collapse the timeline between the life you have and the life you're meant to live. Because once you understand the code, reality stops being something that happens to you and becomes something you create. What if the secret to changing your life wasn't outside of you, but hidden in the way your mind vibrates with the universe? Because what we call manifestation isn't magic, it's quantum alignment. Let's dive into how to actually activate your quantum mind and why this is the missing link between science and spirituality. Imagine your mind as a radio tuner. Every thought you think is a frequency. Every emotion you feel is a signal you send into the field. Most people keep tuning to the same old station, worry, fear, doubt, and then wonder why their life plays the same song. But when you shift your inner frequency, your thoughts, emotions, and expectations, you start receiving a different broadcast from reality itself. Dr. Bruce Lipton, a stem cell biologist and author of The Biology of Belief, explains it this way. Your mind is like a broadcasting system. The vibration of your thoughts determines what signal your cells are receiving. So, if you want to change your life, you must first change your frequency. Here's a story that sounds almost impossible, but it's real. In the early 1990s, the Maharishi effect experiment tested whether collective meditation could influence a city's crime rate. Thousands of people meditated with a shared intention of peace for several weeks. When the data came in, crime dropped by 23% during that period. Statistically, that shouldn't have happened, but it did. Now, skeptics argue correlation isn't causation. But similar studies, like the Global Consciousness Project at Princeton, found that human thought and emotion can subtly influence random physical systems. So maybe it's not about controlling the universe. Maybe it's about cohering with it. This is where most people get it wrong. They think manifestation is just positive thinking. But thought alone doesn't move matter, emotion does. Emotion is energy in motion. It's what gives your thought its charge. When you visualize a future but still feel doubt or fear, you're sending out mixed signals. It's like trying to tune your radio to two stations at once. You just get static. But when your heart and mind align, when your belief, thought, and emotion point in the same direction, that's when you reach quantum coherence. The HeartMath Institute discovered that when people feel emotions like gratitude or compassion, their heart rhythm becomes smooth and synchronized. This state of harmony boosts brain function and increases electromagnetic coherence around the body. That's not spiritual poetry, that's measurable science. Let's bring this down to earth. Meet Dr. Joe Dispenza. He was hit by a truck while cycling. Doctors said he'd never walk again. But instead of accepting that reality, he decided to create a new one. Every day, lying motionless, he visualized his spine healing, bone by bone, nerve by nerve. He did it for weeks, focusing not just on the image, but the emotion of already being healed. 9 weeks later, he walked out of the hospital. Now, years later, his workshops document thousands of similar recoveries. People healing chronic diseases, breaking addictions, and transforming their lives by changing their state of consciousness. So, ask yourself, if one man's mind could reorganize the atoms in his body, what could your mind do with your future? Here's where it gets even stranger. Every possibility already exists in the quantum field. Infinite versions of you, infinite outcomes, all vibrating at different frequencies. You don't create your dream life, you tune into it. Just like a radio doesn't create music, it tunes into the frequency that's already broadcasting. So when you say, I want abundance, the universe hears lack. But when you feel grateful now, as if abundance is already yours, you become a match for that frequency. This is what Einstein hinted at when he said, everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. He wasn't being poetic, he was describing resonance. So how do you actually use this in your daily life? Let's break it down into 3 simple steps. Step 1. Reprogram your observation. Start noticing what you focus on, because what you observe expands. Your attention is like a magnifying glass in the quantum field. Whatever you emotionally invest in, you energize. Step 2. Feel it before you see it. Spend 5 minutes every day feeling the emotion of already being there. Success, freedom, love, peace. Your brain and body will begin to believe it's real, and your energy will shift to match that future frequency. Step 3. Release control. Here's the paradox. Manifestation happens not when you chase, but when you surrender. The moment you let go of when or how, you stop collapsing resistance and let the field reorganize around your vibration. Let's take a real example. Samantha, a single mother working 2 jobs, discovered Dr. Dispenza's work during a low point in her life. Every night before bed, she visualized living in a peaceful home, doing creative work, and feeling abundant. She didn't just imagine it, she felt it. Within months, opportunities started appearing. A remote job that matched her dream, financial relief, and a deep sense of calm. Coincidence? Maybe. But her brain scans, done before and after her meditation practice, showed rewired neural pathways in her prefrontal cortex, the area linked to decision-making and creativity. The science matched the story. So the question isn't, does manifestation work? The question is, can you hold the frequency long enough for reality to catch up? Now imagine this. Every version of your life, the one you have, the one you want, already exists as a probability wave in the quantum field. When you align your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs, those waves collapse into physical form. Time isn't linear, it's layered. Your future self is already broadcasting a signal, and your job is to match it in the present. So when you meditate, visualize, or act with intention, you're not pulling the future toward you. You're stepping into the frequency where that future already exists. That's why sometimes miracles feel instantaneous. You didn't bend time, you shifted into another version of it. Here's where most people stop. They think quantum manifestation is about getting things. But the deeper truth is this. It's about becoming someone new. Because the universe doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you are. When you shift your state of being, when your vibration matches your vision, life rearranges itself around that new identity. And this isn't just spiritual fluff. Quantum physics shows that energy reorganizes based on the observer's state. Change the observer, and you change the observation. So when you wake up as your future self, confident, grateful, whole, you signal the field to deliver a new reality that matches it. But here's where it gets even stranger. Scientists are now discovering that your brain might not be the source of consciousness at all, but a receiver, like an antenna, tapping into a larger universal mind. If that's true, then your thoughts aren't just personal, they're cosmic. They're how the universe experiences itself through you. And if that's real, then manifestation isn't something you do. It's something you remember how to be. In the next part, we'll explore the universal mind field, the hidden layer of consciousness that connects all life, and how to access it to manifest from pure awareness. Because once you realize you're not just in the universe, you'll see the universe has been inside you all along. In the last part, we uncovered something extraordinary, that your thoughts, emotions, and attention aren't just personal experiences. They're vibrations interacting with a vast, intelligent field that holds every possibility. But what if that field isn't out there at all? What if the entire universe is inside your consciousness? And you've been shaping it all along? Quantum physicists call it the zero-point field, an invisible ocean of energy that fills every inch of space. It's not empty. It's alive with potential, constantly pulsing with information, like a cosmic internet connecting everything. Lynn McTaggart, in her book The Field, describes it as a vast quantum energy sea where everything communicates with everything else. Ancient mystics called it the Akashic field. Modern science calls it the quantum vacuum. Different names, same truth. And here's the mind-bending part. Your consciousness is not separate from this field. It's made of it. When you think, imagine, or believe, you're not just sending energy into space. You're modulating the entire field of reality itself. You see, most people approach manifestation from the ego. What can I get? But the quantum field doesn't respond to separation. It responds to coherence. When your desires align with your higher intention, something that adds value to life, the field responds faster. Because you're no longer fighting the current of the universe. You've become part of its flow. So the real secret to manifestation isn't forcing reality. It's becoming one with it. Imagine the universe as a giant mirror. It doesn't reflect what you want, it reflects what you are. If you wake up frustrated, stressed, doubting yourself, you'll notice people, events, and outcomes that match that frequency. But when you wake up in gratitude, not because life is perfect, but because you decide to feel aligned, the mirror changes. Your energy shifts, your perception expands. And suddenly, you start seeing opportunities that were always there, waiting for your signal. That's not luck. That's quantum perception, tuning your awareness to a different slice of reality. Let's bring this to life. Meet Daniel, a software engineer who felt stuck for years. He had ideas, but fear of failure kept him frozen. He heard about quantum manifestation and decided to test it scientifically. For 30 days, he followed a simple routine. Every morning, he sat quietly, imagined his future self leading a thriving tech company. And, this is key, felt the emotions of confidence, clarity, and excitement. At first, nothing happened. But within weeks, his mindset changed. He started seeing patterns, new ideas, collaborations, and synchronicities. One day, a casual conversation led to an investor meeting. 6 months later, Daniel launched his startup, and it succeeded. When he looked back, he realized the biggest shift wasn't external. It was internal. He didn't manifest a company. He became the person who could create one. Neuroscience now proves this. When you think and feel a new state repeatedly, your brain wires itself to match that reality, a process called neuroplasticity. Dr. Andrew Newberg's brain scans of monks and meditators show that consistent visualization strengthens neural circuits tied to focus, creativity, and joy. So, when you combine belief, emotion, and intention, you're literally sculpting your brain and your future. Quantum physics meets biology, and spirituality meets practicality. All right, now let's make this real. Here are 5 powerful, science-backed steps anyone can start today to live in alignment with the quantum field and manifest from the inside out. Step 1. Morning calibration. Tune your frequency. Before checking your phone, take 2 minutes to breathe and ask, what signal am I sending into the universe right now? Then, intentionally choose gratitude, love, or calm. This resets your brain's wave state from stress, beta, to flow, alpha, and theta. In these states, your subconscious is more receptive. You become the signal, not the static. Step 2. Visualization 2.0. Feel the future now. Close your eyes and picture your future self vividly. Not what you're doing, but how you're feeling. Is it peace? Confidence? Freedom? Anchor that emotion into your body. Neurons that fire together, wire together. So when you feel the emotion of the future in the present, you program your mind to act as if it's already true. Step 3. Quantum journaling. Collapse the old reality. Write as if your manifestation has already happened. Example: I'm so grateful I wake up energized, working on projects that inspire me. This tells your subconscious that your desired reality already exists. Over time, your brain filters information to support that belief. It's not delusion, it's direction. Don't wait to feel ready. Act as the person who already achieved it. If your goal is abundance, behave generously. If it's health, move and eat like someone who honors their body. Action bridges energy and matter. It's the signal that tells the universe, I'm serious. This is the hardest but most powerful step. Let go of when and how it comes. Quantum physics teaches that outcomes exist as probabilities. Your job is to align, not control. When you release attachment, you stop collapsing resistance. And let the field organize events in ways your logic never could. As physicist Niels Bohr once said, if quantum mechanics hasn't profoundly shocked you, you haven't understood it yet. Trust that what you desire already exists, and your only task is to meet it halfway. Before, life feels random. You react to what happens, and your emotions depend on the outside world. After, you realize life is responsive. Your emotions become creative forces, and you see patterns, signs, synchronicities guiding your path. You stop asking, when will it happen? And start knowing, it's already unfolding. The external world becomes a mirror of your inner evolution. That's not fantasy. That's the science of conscious participation. Here's the truth most people miss. You don't need to learn how to manifest. You've been doing it your entire life, unconsciously. Now it's time to do it intentionally. The universe doesn't respond to words, it responds to states of being. And every moment, you're broadcasting who you are into the field. So ask yourself, what frequency are you transmitting today? Fear or faith? Scarcity or sufficiency? Doubt or destiny? Because whichever you choose, the quantum field will reflect it right back to you. The science is clear. The mystics were right. Your consciousness shapes your reality. Your thoughts bend probability, and your emotions sculpt the fabric of the universe. You are not a tiny observer in a vast cosmos. You are the cosmos, observing itself through human eyes. So tonight, when you close your eyes, don't just dream of a better life. Feel it, because the moment you do, you're already rewriting the code of your reality. If reality is responding to you, what are you broadcasting right now? If this message sparks something in you, drop a dizzy in the comments, share what reality you're creating, and make sure to subscribe for more deep dives into quantum consciousness, future technology, and the science of the soul. Because your awakening isn't coming someday. It's happening right now.